FOBFLO.com. I like that. I like that. Okay. So what my next question for you, we're gonna transition on to something else,
All
Mr.
right.
Love. Mr. Love, have you found love? And what? I mean, my whole thing is you're all over the place. I said you. I know you've always been a traveler. We got when I met you, you were talking about that. You're very well traveled. Um, and for someone that is so well traveled and to be on a dating or reality show with someone, you're dating someone you've never met. We're talking about the never ever met,
That
right?
never ever met.
Yeah. And so my thing is, it doesn't seem like you would have a problem with actually meeting and connecting with someone in person because your personality is really big. How did you end up on the show? Like how did this all happen?
I feel like I feel like I have to get this approval from some of these.
Okay. Okay, so have
It
you
was
found love?
we signed a really some people broke it, I think, because there's drama at the beginning, but the NDA was thick. There was a lot of form signed. So it wasn't
Uh,
like if it was like a rinky dink uh type of situation, then yeah, I'd probably like whatever. But no, the what I
okay.
feel like I can say
So
now is
this
the
is what
process
I
was 3 months. It was a 3 month process. So it wasn't
okay.
like a rinky dink. The company, I didn't know anything about them. It's called Bunham and Murray production. So they did the Real World, the Kardashians, the Challenge, those shows along those lines.
And
Um,
you signed up for it, or they came to you and said, "Oh, I like his personality."
it did came to me, and I still had to sign up. So it was brought to me. I still had to fill out a whole thing, and then it's a 3 month process you go through. It's Zoom call interviews. You have to talk to psychologists. You have to talk to different doctors. You have to delete some of your stuff from like my old Twitter and like old. Just a lot of moving parts. Yeah, it's a lot. There's a lot of behind the scenes. There's a lot of moving parts behind the scenes.
A lot of behind the scenes. I was like, he's doing what? But I have this is my opinion. He hasn't said anything, so don't nobody go after Brandon because I just want to make sure that I did have this conversation with you because I saw the episode when the girl called you out your name. And I'm sitting here like, what?
Yeah.
I I was mind blown for somebody that is trying to connect with somebody, regardless if it's for the first time and you've been dating for someone online or just having a conversation over the phone. Certain things you just don't do when you're dating someone and you're trying to actually connect. And calling them out of their name, the disrespect is just I was just mind blown at the fact that she got upset that you were speaking to someone and then but she was doing the same thing. I'm like, I don't know. I do know that they edit certain things, but she was having a conversation about you with another guy and you were also having a conversation about her, but she got upset with you. So I'm like, wait a minute. Why? What?
This is all I'll say on that whole kind of situation is like as much as I talk about, and as you continue to know me and people know me, I'm always talking about emotional intelligence, self awareness, and everything along those lines. And I'm consistent pretty much everywhere. But that you are definitely tested. There's a lot of reality. Like some people are like, oh, there's fake, there's real. There are parts that you're kind of repeating yourself sometimes. So you might like shoot a scene, not inside the house, but like before that, and may have to reshoot because the mic wasn't recording or something. But there's a lot of reality, especially once you get into the house, because what happens is it's a pressure cooker. You have no music, no phone, no TV. All of your insecurities or projections are going to come out. So I could have easily reacted a lot of different ways there. But in that situation, I have to same thing. I always practice what you preach. Take take it in. What's happening in this moment? Wow, wow! You just tried my entire life. I was like, I'm not gonna lash out, even if. And then it's even in that situation, you have to really think. And this is the power of emotional intelligence and self awareness. Because in my head, I was like, even if I were to point and I would have said, "Yo, watch your mouth," or like, "Watch your tone," or "Watch how you talk to me." I didn't curse or anything. Me pointing looks crazy on camera, probably. So you know what I'm saying? And it's very innocent, it's very simple, but little things like that. Um,
Yeah.
and it could be as simple as like you could be dating somebody there, say you're dating somebody, and then they go around the corner, and somebody would be like, "Yeah, they were holding hands around the corner." You're like, "Wait, what?" So and remember, you're already at this point. They know our personalities. They know who's gonna clash. They know who's gonna have. And people, you can get worked up. No music, no phone, no TV, no outlet. After a little while, you just going.
Yeah.
So it was a
I
lot.
commend you. I think you did well. You handled it well.
It
Because
was a, it
I
was
was just
a
like, what did she just call him? And I just stared there and I said, he's not going. I knew because I met you and I've been in your presence and you're very respectful and you're a gentleman. And so
well, I
I
appreciate
knew.
that, but this
But
conversation
had
would be
you
different.
responded another way, I would have been like, who is that
That's what
guy?
I'm
Right?
saying. And then what happens
Yeah.
because it's a different type of environment. So like
Yeah.
that's why I'm also very forgiving. I don't need to continue to move forward or anything, but I'm forgiving because I understand the environment that those people are in. But at the same time, like you know what you signed up for, you know why you're in there. Even now, to this day, to see people defending themselves in the comment section and all that, I'm like you know what, like, and you can't take that stuff personally. People are gonna
Yeah.
talk, like, so it's how you're wired. There's so many when I say there's so many levels, oh my gosh.
I was so shocked. And I
People are
was
in their
like, you
feelings,
signed
taking
up
it
for this?
personally.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I could, and then there's also the perspective of like, oh, well, you should have talked back. You should have. I'm not, and as
They
you said,
want
like
the drama. They
you
wanted the
want,
drama.
I'm not the one. Like I'm very, very secure in myself. I'm very not gonna give you my energy, and I had 1,000 other things going on. So when you're moving like that, this ain't top priority. I got this. I'm thinking of like.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and you can't just and then others like, well, why don't you just? It's not like you just walk about a place. Like everyone's logic is so interesting when you look at the comments of why don't you just walk out? Everything
Yeah.
is not, yeah.
So is it okay for me to ask you, are you still in communications with that young lady or are you all still friends or how did you actually end all of that?
I mean,
I know how it ended on the show, but
I don't talk to her like that. No. As far as now, I am in a relationship, so that happened. Yeah.
she fell in love with you on that show after she called you out your name.
No, not what. Oh, I almost threw it up. No, stop. Nah, not with her. No, that's actually someone that lives in my area. I met her I was cooking at the grill, and then she offered me some jerk chicken, and then from there, offered me some liquor, some Ray and nephew. Fast forward a little
Organic
while.
connection. And
Yeah.
that's how it is. Organic connection. I mean, that's how I met my husband. It was very easy, but that was 25 years ago too, but very organic. And I appreciate that kind of stuff. So I don't want to keep deep diving in there because the show is still airing and it has not wrapped up, but I do
Well,
thank you for sharing what you have shared.
and not to go, I'll get away from the show, but still dating. I think that yes, organic connection. I'm like that. So the old school, but online, back to when you said you lived so many places. I grew up overseas. I've traveled so much from a different perspective, not just the like touristy travel. I've lived in Southeast Asia and stuff like that. So that online is a great component. Like people limit themselves. That's why a lot of people are miserable in their areas and like I can't find anybody. Nobody's here, or they try a state over if they're being extreme. But I mean, your next wife or husband might be in Bali somewhere just waiting for you. And just because you didn't log online and take that random trip to wherever, you'll never meet them. Like, there's a lot of beautiful, amazing souls in this world. And I'm telling you, if I could take all the people I met, I could easily connect. Oh my gosh, you got to meet this person I randomly met in this coffee shop in Brazil and connect that to this person I met in Dominican Republic and connect them to someone I met in Houston, Texas at the bowling alley. But they'll never meet each other because there's, think about how small that bubble really is.
Yeah.
That's crazy when you think about it. Why would you not leverage your tools? There's some
Ah,
beautiful stories.
yes, but there's also some crazy people too.
But that's any element of life. Your coworkers could be crazy if you work.
I totally understand where you're coming from. That's why I think that's why you're interested in it based off of your experience and where you are now in the relationship and what you said in the beginning. It's like thinking about maybe, doing something and connecting people in the whole dating space.
You only got to get it
Dating
right
is
once.
huge. Relationship, yeah, it's huge. But for me, I think people have to know who they are first. And I think there's a lot of lack there. It's like, again, mindset and doing some personal soul searching on who you
Mm-hmm.
are and being honest and authentic about it, before you go and get into a relationship with someone. And I think that piece of it is a key component, because I prayed for my husband. I literally had a list after
Mm-hmm.
getting out of a relationship, and I said I was just done with dating, and this is what I wanted, because I've always been intentional about, who I wanted to date and what I wanted as a mate, a life partner, as a husband, right? And I knew it was God sent, because everything on the list he possessed, he has everything but one thing, and I knew he was God sent, because he does not have it, and I did not pray for it. It wasn't on my
Yeah.
list. But I think it's definitely one of those things. You have a plethora of opportunity out there, as far as like what you can do, and I'm happy for you if you're happy, and just take your time.
Yeah.
I definitely believe in love, black love, and just love and period and connection. You know that. So congratulations, Brandon.
Yeah. She's amazing. She cooks for me every night. She holds it down. Yeah, she's amazing.
Okay.